Ooh, look, new controller, new console. Everyone over here is rushing into a massive queue to go check out the PlayStation 4. What they don't realise is there's a couple PlayStation 4 games playable over here with no queue whatsoever. So yeah, that's how we got to try out a few games. And if you go around the back somewhere, you can try out a few games with zero queue as well. So I guess this is just if you really want to play Drive Club and what was it? Well, there's Drive Club over there. We'll have a look at that real quickly. There you go, next generation racing games like Drive Club. And they also have Killzone and FIFA and all kinds of PS4 games. If you go around the back though, yeah, there's even more games that you can play without even having to queue up, so that's quite handy. Look, new controller! It's got a touchpad there, big light that changes colour for some reason, like the Move controller. It feels really nice actually, it's got really nice grip to it. Triggers are miles better, trust me, they're a lot better than the PS3 ones and PS2 ones to be honest. Haven't played a game that actually uses this yet, but apparently you can do all kinds of like little touch stuff on it.
Okay, how comfortable is that?
It feels fine, yeah. It's like, it clicks as well, so it's kind of like a button as well. Because there's no start button, so I presume that's like the start button. There's a share button and an options button. But yeah, it's a complete rework. It feels really nice. Yeah, very good. Anyway, let's try this game out. It's called Hohokum. I don't know. Right, okay. Moving it without one stick. I'm an eyeball on a line or something. Oh, now I've got a little guy riding on this. Oh, he fell off. What's going on? I have no idea how to play this yet. What do I do?
You don't need an idea to play it.
I don't think even the staff know how to play this. Oh, hang on. Okay, I'm just flying around. Get on me. Do something. What do I do? It's like Nobi Boy, but in 2D and I don't know what I'm doing. I can wiggle it. I'll make it wiggle. Oh, someone's on it. Yeah, put someone on it. Okay. Oh, I'm making things light up now. Things are happening. Things are happening now. Making things light up. Grab the acorn or whatever. Making things fly away. Hey, ladies, I've got an acorn. Do you want the acorn? Come on, take the acorn. Oh, you don't want it. They're just sitting there. Come on, I've got an acorn. Do you want to hang out on my giant snake thing? I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know. It's pretty low. Okay, I'm going to have a go at Knack on the fancy new PS4 controller. It already feels very comfortable. I mean, these are so much better. Yeah, I can vouch for that, yeah. So I'm going to try out Knack. So yeah, we both also tried out Knack, one of the launch titles for the PlayStation 4, and it was alright. You know, it was kind of like your typical launch game. There's always one of these where it's like, it's good, but it's, you know, it's just kind of there. I mean, I don't know, we didn't really play enough of it, I don't think.
Yeah, it's very simple sort of stuff. I mean, it looked great, didn't it? It looked very sharp, apart from frame rate.
The frame rate was pretty horrendous.
Yeah.
For all we know, it could be an early build, and they've probably improved it by the time it comes out, but yeah. Or they could patch it, I don't know, but it did feel a bit rough. And we didn't even get very far in it. We basically walked around, punched some Shreks. They look exactly like Shrek. They even got the same clothes and everything. And we kind of weren't very good at it.
Yeah, it's quite. One of the things I would praise it for is it did have a nice sort of difficulty to it. It was quite difficult, wasn't it?
Yeah, I liked the mechanic of it as well. The fact that you're like this
character that starts off really little and he builds up like all these like particles. I think that's what makes it a PS4 game, is the fact that they can make this character that animates around that's made of hundreds of little pieces.
That's right.
That was, I think that's like the main draw of the game, really.
It kind of is, isn't it?
Yeah.
So it's got a bit of a Katamari feel to it.
Yeah,
it
it gets bigger as the game goes along, and after a while you're like this giant monster
running
like just
around,
crashing buildings and stuff. So that could be pretty cool. I mean, you know, I think it would definitely be fun for people that like a lot of Sony's other like kids games like Ratchet and Clank and Jack and Daxter, that kind of thing. It would definitely be up, you know, that kind of street. That's who it's for, really. I mean, yeah, I don't think we really played enough of it to get a proper opinion of it, really. But you know,
well, yeah, our current opinion at the moment is it's not a negative one. It's, it's just nothing too.
Wouldn't make me go out to buy a PlayStation 4, really.
It needs a bit more to sort of stand out, really.
Yeah.
It's kind of just a general platformer, really, wasn't it?
So,
unfortunately.
Knack, punch some Shreks. If you want to punch Shrek in the face with a particle man. There you go. One of the other games in the PlayStation 4 section that we checked out, me and Stacey sat down on a little sofa and tried out, was the Playroom, which is built into every PlayStation 4. I know it requires the PlayStation camera, but yeah, they've built it in for nothing, so it's pretty cool. It's like a little minigame collection / tech demo, really. It shows off what the PlayStation 4 controller can do, like the touchpad and all the bits and bobs with it. We had a guide that pretty much instructed us what to do, basically. We didn't really get to play about with everything. We just tried out things that he showed us, including this part where you look inside the controller and you can see all these little robots running around inside it, and you can move the controller around and throw them about a bit. It was very similar to, there was a thing in Rabbids Go Home on the Wii where you had a little rabbit inside a Wii remote and you could smack him around by moving the Wii remote around. It was very similar to that, and you would press the buttons and make music and they'll dance about. And then after that, using the touchpad, you could like slide them out and they would all jump around on your floor, and you could just like bash them about and knock them around basically and abuse them. Or you could wave at them and they would all turn around to look at you and start waving, which is kind of cute. After a while, you ended up getting this giant duck in there and you could sort of pick it up and throw it around. It was just like, you know, it wasn't a game as such. It was just like you were playing around with like physics and like these little robot dudes. They also showed us this sort of variant of Pong they had on there, where you could control it by using both the touchpad and the motion controls, which is actually a bit confusing at first, because they want you to move the paddle, you had to slide up and down with your finger on the touchpad, but then you could also move the controller around to warp the stage as such, so you could make it, you know, more confusing for your opponent. Yeah, it was a bit fiddly to control. It would have been nice if you could just use the analog stick to move the paddle, but you know, they want to show off everything this controller can do, and the touchpad feels really good actually. It's also like a button as well, and it's got really good like accuracy to it. It feels really nice. Yeah, it was a nice little tech demo, I suppose, and it's going to be free with the system, so it's going to be built in from day one, I believe. So yeah, it was a cute little thing just to show off, really.
I'm sure we'll find out the context of that in a second. This is the new shooting game Resogun from the Super Starlight guys. So, cool. Yeah. Oh, it's a bit like Defender. What? Oh, there's my bomb. Save the last human. I thought it said I could throw it. Okay, well. Wow, look at that. That's lovely. Oh, yeah. It's pretty, which is not a surprise because it's guys, it is. They always make really pretty games. Human does nothing yet. Wow, this is proper bullet hell.
Still loving on that controller, aren't you?
It is very nice. Yeah, it's a bit like a Defender or Fantasy Zone, I suppose. Yeah, it's a bit Fantasy Zone.
Yeah, it is very, isn't it? Yeah.
Very nice. Oh, this is human. Oh. It's a
shoot, guys. I can't save you.
Completely destroying the stage.
Yeah. There's still guys waving at me like, can you please save me? But I can't. I'm too busy trying not to die. You seem to be safe in that little capsule anyway, so I won't worry too much about it. Oh, the controls got a bit funny. Ah! The controls have gone a bit. Well, one of the highlights in the PlayStation 4 section, I believe, was Octodad.
Yeah. Oh, that was special.
It's very special. I think that game was built just for me. It was. I mean, I love ragdoll physics and games where, you know, sort of like just frailing about, like.
Yeah.
And I think this game's trying to sell me on a PlayStation 4 and all. I believe it's also coming out on Steam, so I'll definitely be grabbing it on that first, at the very least. It was really nice of Sony to give that such a prominent place.
Well,
Just
kudos to Sony throughout the show. They weren't obnoxiously shouting. You know what I mean? They had a nice little display with plenty going on throughout the day, and they had, you know, just a nice sort of setup in general. But yeah, I know what you mean. They gave Octodad plenty of coverage, which is
they had
very
a lot of screens to play that on.
We all got a go on that, didn't we?
Yeah, we all had a go at that.
It took me a little while to get to grips with the idea of the controls of coming in and out of the grip mode.
Yeah, the controls. I think the controls are like sort of complicated by design.
Yeah.
I think they've done that on purpose just to make it so you are frailing about a lot and doing things that you wouldn't do if you were trying to play it well, you know. They want you to play it badly. They want you to crash into things.
So yeah, basically the general gist of the game is you are an octopus who's masquerading as a human.
Yeah.
And
nobody suspects a thing. As the theme tune goes, the brilliant theme tune.
Yeah, it's got a rather funky theme tune. And yeah, so you're going around like the unfortunately the demo was quite short.
Yeah, they only had the one mission of like going to a wedding and getting married with your human wife.
I now go to octopus and wife.
No, he's not an octopus. No one suspects he's an octopus. Apparently he's not.
So that's a bit odd. And yeah, you got to get
Bestiality.
yourself suited up. You got to put your bow tie and your hat on, and you got to basically just get in from one room to the other. And then you got to walk down the aisle, which
It's difficult without crashing into things, because when you get to the aisle, all your wife's family are there, and they're staring at you the whole time. And if you keep messing up, they start suspecting you, and there's a little suspicion bar. So obviously, if you crash around too much, they're gonna figure out you're an octopus.
I think it's very
as if your
generous.
face isn't obvious enough, and the fact that you've got tentacles. But other than that, you know, because you've got clothes on, no one can tell.
No one suspects a thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's all ragdoll flailing around the game.
Pretty much.
Yeah, it's a great game with a fantastic sense of humour, and as you can see, it's being picked up big time.
Yeah, the game mainly uses the shoulder buttons and analog sticks, the two analog sticks, to switch between both of your arms and both of your legs, and you have to use one of the triggers to switch between arms and legs, which takes a little bit of getting used to, but once you start getting the hang of it, you know, it sort of clicks. So.
Yeah. Well, like you said, the whole thing's an awkward learning curve, which is part of the process.
Yeah,
because,
and entirely by design.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Because you do feel like someone who's out of his depth, so to speak. Great fun that was.
Fantastic,
Probably
really
one of the most fun games of the show.
Definitely,
I would say,
without a doubt. More of that, please.
I look gorgeous today. Oh, I dropped it.
So my impressions of the PlayStation 4 so far? Well, I definitely want to pick one up eventually, though nothing really wowed me game-wise or tech-wise yet. I mean, I loved Octodad, but that'll also be releasing on Steam, so I'll probably get it on there first. Still early days though, and the system seems to be off to a good start, especially with their nice coverage of quirky and indie games. One thing they did sell me on for sure though was the controller. It's a massive improvement over previous DualShocks. In fact, I kind of wish I could use this controller on my PlayStation 3, and on my PC really. If they put out PC drivers, I'll probably pick one up before I even get a PS4. So, as for the Xbox One, what did we think of that? Well, let's have a look.
Well, here it is, the Xbox One. Ignore that, it's just playing the CD. Apparently they can still play CDs. Yep, see? That's what the Xbox One looks like. There you go.
Yeah, to be honest, we didn't even play any Xbox One games. They're all kind of tucked away in boxes and we couldn't even really look at it and try it out, so we just didn't bother. Not really that fast. Sorry.